David Farrar is the co-founder of the Taxpayers Union. The Taxpayers Union gets funding, is connected to, certainly is alongside the Atlas network. Here is a newsroom article from late last year. As a free market think tank, the Taxpayers Union principles are clear. It is declared its association with the Global Atlas Network umbrella group.
Oh, but that's a conspiracy theory, though.
But it's acceptable for the funding of such an influential group to be a black box. And what about its direct influence on politicians and policies? Later on in that article, it says, as president of Chair of World Taxpayers Association, as an Atlas work partner, gets some travel expenses paid. The Taxpayers Union also won awards and travel scholarships from the Atlas Network, chaired by New Zealander Debbie Gibbs, who you talked about last night, daughter of the businessman Alan Gibbs, a long-time supporter of ACT, etc., etc., etc. So, David Farrar...
That's a conspiracy theory.
But David Farrar is the co-founder of the Taxpayers Union, right? So I'm not saying I'm actually not saying there's anything untoward going on. I don't need to, but what I can say is there is a clear connection between David Farrar and the Atlas Network, right? So you could say there's a clear conflict of interest, but Sean Plunket takes David Farrar's word as gospel, even though there is the appearance of a conflict of interest. So what it does, if it suits his narrative, is it doesn't matter where the conflicts come, it suits his narrative. So he says yes to David Farrar, even though you can draw a line straight from him to the Atlas Network. Now, when there's no evidence of a conflict of interest, all he can say is taxpayer funded, as a coverall to ignore the work of people like Mahinarangi Forbes. So on one side, there is actual evidence of a connection that is a conflict of interest to the information he's got from that person, and he'll happily accept that as evidence. On the other side, there is no evidence of a conflict of interest, and he's going to poo-poo that because it matches the narrative he wants to sell. All Karen has got is taxpayer funded.